of around 5 to 7 highly trained Secret Service agents. In the 100-foot radius, that is the middle perimeter, there's usually a mix of Secret Service and local law enforcement. An armored SUV or limousine is also on.
As a former deputy sheriff, I've worked on these details, and I've also, prior military, been to these rallies and seen the operation firsthand.
Standby within this middle perimeter, covering portions of the motorcade and any pre-event screening. In the outer perimeter, security largely falls to local law enforcement officers. In Butler, the building the shooter climbed was technically outside of the rally venue, and the Secret Service did.
I like this AI telly. Um, they do a very good job and pretty detailed.
Sweep it. It fell through the cracks, which still falls to the Secret Service because it means nobody checked to ensure the plan was implemented correctly.
Now, information coming out later. There were two law enforcement officers in the building. It was hot. They was told to get on the roof, at least one. It was too hot, so they went in the building. They were supposed to be outside, but it was too hot, so they went in the building. Um, Someone has to be a supervisor. Someone has to oversee that everyone is in their place. And sometimes law enforcement, I mean federal law enforcement, come down with a heavy hand, and um, they can come off um, being dictators. But in this case, you needed someone to check local law enforcement. You needed someone, even if you go to the chain of command, hey, your guys are not on the roof. Where are they? Have someone check. And if they say, hey, I'm doing this, then if they need to go to the restroom to eat, whatever, someone needs to relieve them from on the roof. And if that ladder was there for to allow law enforcement to get on the roof, would it have been there if not for that purpose? Why didn't they not take it down? It's a lot of things not adding up, and it's don't have to be a conspiracy, but just lack of discipline, lack of oversight.
But before we move ahead, let's map out the basic positions of all the parties involved. First, we have the former president's podium, and just beside him are 3 bleachers where a selected audience is seated. Behind them is the sniper team, which can be divided into north and south positions, located on 3 buildings. Sniper Team North is located on the first building, while on the third building you can find Sniper Team South. Almost sandwiched in between are these trees, which provided some cover from the Secret Service Sniper Team North. Finally, we.
And just one note: um, tactics change, operations change. Generally, I would see the sharpshooter. I hate the word sniper. Sniper is what we used to shoot at. Sharpshooter is what we were. Um, but it's got to be cool to be called sniper. Um, Sniper is more to me is more offensive than defensive. But anyway, um, generally the spotter would have binocs, I would think, but these two both had rifles. They were both aiming down the rifle. When you aim down the rifle, you lower your visibility, but with the scope, you can zero in on things. But then you have the spotter to help direct you. Like I said, it's I had to study up on that, see when that changed.
We have the shooter, who climbed from one of those ladders and selected this position to take out his target. This is what.
So we know for sure he Knives comes out from the FBI director. He had a rifle with a that could break down, um, collapsible. So okay, we got that information. Cool. However, um, we know he couldn't and did not drag a ladder up to the building. So again, it looks bad. What really happened? What's going on?
What the shooter is likely using: a red dot sight with magnification. When ready, he squeezes the trigger, firing 3 bullets in a controlled manner. Let's map out each of the bullets in detail. Out of the 3 bullets fired, the first bullet hit Mr. Trump.
I want to interject here too. All right, when it comes to information about the sniper, it coming out drips. Instead of the FBI, the Secret Service coming out and have holding a press conference to address the fears of those who support the former president and also the nation. This is what happened. This is what we have. It's fluid. Some information may change. You don't have to come out and just throw out um, things that are not verified. But when you got talking heads on national television saying this is a fake, it was not a bullet, and they are influencing people that their views may never change after the facts come out. They need to get ahead of this, and right now they're not. And it wasn't for the Republican House to demand the FBI director and the Secret Service director to come before them, we would not have the information we have now. The information kills a lot of the conspiracy. Not for everybody, but it kills a lot of it.
Trump on the ear. This is the same round that also hit 2 audience member in Bleacher 3, rendering one of them in critical conditions. Let's move the camera to a top angle to show the line along which the bullet traveled. Next, 2 more bullets were fired. One of them hit a tractor, which was being used as a makeshift array for speakers. These rounds also hit a hydraulic lever, causing it to burst, almost dropping the speakers. The last 5 shots were probably fired in semi-automatic mode. One of these bullets sadly hit an attendee, and our condolences goes out to his family. In total, around 7 to 8 bullets were likely fired by the shooter. Here's a map of all the bullets fired to help you understand better. Everybody was complaining about the Secret Service sniper for taking 2 minutes to take out the shooter. But let's take a look from the sniper's point of view. First of all, we have these tree lines that could have obstructed the sniper team north, while the sniper team south had a clear line of sight. Here are 2 scenarios circulating on the internet. In scenario 1, the leaves and branches of the tree covered almost 90% of the shooter's entire position. However, for an experienced shooter, this would have been possible to manage. He might have fired the shot and took out the threat. Let's look at scenario 2. The distance from sniper south to the shooter was around 600 to 700 feet. This is also a possible shot and can be accounted for by assuming that sniper team south took...
Again, addressing this lack of information coming out from the Secret Service and the FBI. It makes it look even worse for the deep state scenario where bureaucracy says we hold the information, we give it to you when we want to. And there doesn't seem to be any pressure from the top, from the President of the United States on his directors or CIA and the FBI. So if there's no pressure there and the system runs on its own accord when it's ready. Now, don't get me wrong, a law enforcement investigation goes a long way. But how many rounds did the sniper fire? And how can we confirm it? How many rounds did the the CIA sharpshooter versus the assassin fire? So that sort of thing helps alleviate a lot of this nonsense on the internet that get people riled up. Like I've said and others said, we were um, inches away from possible civil war um, or vindictive retaliatory acts. If Trump had died, the hopes of millions of Americans would have went with him because no one can fill his shoes right now. Those on the right see no other. Now, 4 years from now or whenever um, he's over with, hopefully use common sense and he taps down on the rhetoric, but there's going to have to be another side, an outside of this. Who comes after him? That sort of thing. But right now, let's continue.
Got the shooter from this range. When ready, he took his shot and fired his rifle with a 308 Winchester round, taking out the shooter. So maybe there was some miscommunication between the two teams regarding who should take out the shooter, resulting in a delay of around 2 minutes when the threat was detected on the roof. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Should the second sniper team reacted much faster? Let's compare the two weapons side by side. This is what the sniper probably used. We could divide it into several parts. This is the barrel, one of the most important parts, based on the Remington 700, a tried and tested hunting rifle. The scope and handle at the back, also called stock, can be configured according to your needs. It has an official effective range of 1,200 yards, which translates to 1,097.28 meters, though it is capable of making longer shots. As is based on the Remington 700, it can fire the .308 Winchester Magnum rounds and can also be mated with a 5-round magazine feed. While the AR-15, although much smaller, has an effective firing range of 500 yards. That is around 457 meters, which is within the former President Trump firing range. It uses a .223 Winchester bullet. Although highly effective, the sniper round is much larger and heavier. The advantage of having heavier bullets is their higher ballistic coefficient and greater penetration and velocity compared to the lightweight bullets as shown in these animations. We have here the corrected and verified timeline, from the moment Thomas Mueller Crook arrival, to when the former president getting into his personal plane Trump Force One, all in the videos ahead. Thomas Mueller Crook parked his van on Lawrence Avenue. The van was also suspected of containing explosives. He got out and walked all the way to this bottling company plant, choosing the building on the right. He then climbed a ladder located there and made his way to the top of this slanted roof, also thought previously unsafe by the Secret Service director. At around 5:10, Crooks was first identified as a person of interest, and 5:30 Crooks was spotted with a rangefinder. 5:52 Crooks was spotted on the roof by the Secret Service. At 6:12 p.m. ET, Trump starts addressing his supporters and speaks for roughly 6 minutes before multiple gunfire erupts. Trump was in the middle of speaking when someone in the crowd was heard saying he's got a gun. As the video captured someone in the crowd repeating, on the roof, he's got a gun. It's here that 3 shots rang out. A pause and 5 more shots in rapid succession were heard. For some unknown reason, the shooter had a clear line of sight from an elevated level well positioned as a sniper nest. Interestingly, a heavy-duty ladder was also located on the side. It might be a permanent fixture. He aimed with this AR-15, a semi-automatic rifle. At around 6:11, he aimed his sights on the former president and squeezed the trigger, releasing the bullet. At 6:11:34, Trump touched the right side of his face. At 6:11:35, Trump took cover as U.S. Secret Service agents rushed to the podium to surround him. From the top angle, this is what it looks like when replaying how the bullet missed Mr. Trump as he moved his head at the last millisecond. Interestingly, this bullet would have hit the former president if his head had been turned towards the audience as shown here in this visualization. "Get down, get down, get down," one of them said. As stated, the gunman was positioned outside the rally venue, approximately 400 to 500 feet away from where Trump was speaking. As discussed, the police sniper was located at this position. They were then alerted and started aiming at the suspected shooter. When ready, the bolt-action rifle bullet traveled a range of around 600 to 700 feet. However, this weapon can inflict damage at a range of around 1,200 to 1,300 yards. This is well beyond the shooter's 500 feet limit. At this moment, Trump remains low to the ground surrounded by agents, who could be heard on the rally microphone discussing which vehicle would be used to move the former president away from the scene.
That was shocking to me, not having the pre-programmed steps orchestrated among themselves. Okay, if there's a bomb threat, we move this way. If there's an air threat, we do this. If there's someone from the crowd, we do this. If there's a shooter, we do this. To have to on the fly discuss it throws it off for me. I mean, like I said, primary, yeah, hey, we're going primary. Move. Pick him up, drag him. Don't forget about his shoes, his hat. Shots being fired, people are dying.
Seconds later, multiple agents say, "Shooters down." Law enforcement in tactical gear and rifles are now on the stage. A woman's screams are heard following the sound of another shot. Here's a transcript of the audio at the podium with Trump and Secret Service members. 6:11:41 p.m. Female agent, "What are we doing? What are we doing? Where are we going?" Man indistinctly yelling. 6:11:50. Gunshot, then woman screams. 6:11:58. Male agent 2. "Go around to the spare. Go around to the spare." Spare refers to a spare limousine or SUV. At 6:12 again, male agent 3 appears to say something like, "Move to the spare, hold, hold. When you're ready, on you." At 6:12:01, male agent 2 screams, "Ready." 6:12:02, male agent 3 shouts again, "Move." 6:12:03, male agent 2 screams, "Up." 6:12:03, male agent 3 says, "Move." 6:12:04, male agent 4. He shouts again, "Go, go, go." 6:12:06, male agent 2, "Hawkeye's here." Hawkeye is the code name for the counter-assault team. 6:12:06 again. Female agent 1, "Hawkeye's here, moving to the spare." 6:12:09, male agent 4, "Spare get ready, spare get ready." 6:12:10, male agent 2 says, "You ready?" 6:12:16 to 21, agents, "Shooters down, shooters down. Are we good to move?" 6:12:21, male agent, "Shooters down, we're good to move." 6:12:22, female agent, "Are we clear?" 6:12:23, agents, "We're clear, we're clear, we're clear." 6:12:23, male agent, "Let's move, let's move." Also, just a reminder, Trump is in a state of shock in these first few minutes after being shot. Trump says, "Let me get my shoes, let me get my shoes." Male agent speaks.
Yeah, I want to comment on that. So many haters of Trump said, "Oh, it had to be staged." Who thinks about their shoes? In dealing with people in trauma, they ask for their glasses, they ask for different things that seem mundane to you, but they are in shock. If I was to stage it, actor like they claim he is in that situation, it would have been done better, in my opinion. This is someone in shock, also trying to regroup himself, trying to hold on to some dignity. It's just the comments from well-known talking heads is out of it's crazy.
"I got you, sir. I got you, sir." Trump again says, "Let me get my shoes." Another male agent says, "Hold on, your head is bloody." Male agent, "Sir, we've got to move to the car, sir." Trump says again, "Let me get my shoes." Female agent says, "Okay," before saying something about the shoe. 6:12:25, the agents prepare to move Trump off stage, but he tells them to wait. With blood dripping from his ear over a portion of his face, Trump lifts his fist in the air, prompting a loud cheer from the rally crowd, and mouths the word fight 3 times while pumping his fist. Some say this is kind of a gangster move by Trump, leaving a mark in the American history to never give up and fight.